Alright. Welcome back, one and all. My name is Salty EQ Vet, otherwise known as Brent. I'm a longtime MMO player and retired combat veteran. And I've created this channel to share with you some video games that I think that are underreported, understreamed, and criminally underrated. Typically, I'm not going to be broadcasting Stationeers. It is an aerospace game that I personally like. It's you have to do real science in it, but it's some things are a bit gamified, but that's to be expected. But it's a niche game, and the game that I'm going to be covering is going to be called Monsters and Memories, and it's a massively multiplayer online MMO RPG, classically inspired, based off of EverQuest. Now, if you don't know what EverQuest was, it was the big thing before World of Warcraft, and it was very difficult, very opaque. So I remember when I was 14 and doing a lot of fun stuff and just figuring out the game, no hand-holding. And much like EverQuest, at least in that regard, Stationeers is very much like that. So if you're just joining us now, we are on the moon. We're doing a mini-series until I can get access to the Monsters and Memories beta, which is going on right now. But this is kind of a hardcore game, and so I was setting things up, making sure I can show you that even I, a dumb infantry grunt, can actually do this. And so we just kind of have to worry about temperature, oxygen, food and water, all that sort of survival crafting stuff. I am also now streaming to Kick, so welcome Kick viewers. Streaming to 3 places at once, just trying to make sure I can actually do it. So I might be checking on the stream every so often and chat. Not that I have a big following, not that I plan to have a big following, but I feel like I should have a voice. I should get my voice out there. So we're kind of have a low energy type of vibe here on this channel, where I'm not really get too excited, get too entertaining. I mean, I would love to be an entertaining type of guy, but I'm more of a as a matter of fact type of guy. And right now I'm just looking for some iron sheets that happen to be in my backpack. And we're constructing our pipe bender here. Chances are, if you found this video, you're already interested in Stationeers and you're looking up live streams of it. I have over 800 hours in this game. It's a lot. That's my second most played game other than EVE Online. I think EVE Online would have like a god-awful amount of hours on there. I mean, it's like 1,700 hours or something like that. It's I was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, wow, I wasted a lot of time, I guess. And I don't even remember half of it. Well, I guess when I come back in 10 years, I can see how much fun I was having with this game. Oh yes, we need to build the pipe bender. That's not the tool I need. I need a... I just need this, okay. Yeah, so when I go on a tangent, I typically forget what I'm doing in game, and I focus on the conversation. Alright, we need some plastic sheets. Plastic sheets, where are they? They are not in my inventory. Now, I'm not the best at playing this game, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Don't do as I do. I'm willing to make mistakes, so you don't have to go through that. And I already made a few mistakes on here, but not anything life-threatening or I have to start over. And we're connecting this pipe bender to our power grid. Screwdriver. Okay. There we go. Alright, so last episode we got the electronic printer. We printed off a bunch of solar panels so we can have more constant power. The next thing would be to get the furnace, get a battery going. But before all that, we will need some temperatures controls. Here, I believe I can do that without steel, because steel is the next big thing. What we're looking at is what I call the life raft, but it's really their first little base shelter that you're gonna build. Typically, it's gonna be your greenhouse as well. So we might be setting that up today. I do have a little bit more time that I can spend today, so I fully plan on using it. Having some grade A black coffee. The music you're hearing in the background is Monsters and Memories. Let me make sure that's not too loud. Go ahead and shrink my face here, because I don't think anybody wants to see that ugly mug, other than my wife. The reason why I have music playing on the moon, at the very least, is that, well, we're in a vacuum, and it's very quiet. Like, awkwardly quiet. Alright, let's, what do I need for this silly stuff? What I want to do is I want to get the temperature automated or before I do anything else, because that can be kind of a pain in the butt to deal with, especially when you got a lot of different things going on. So that's one less thing I have to worry about. And then we want to do power automation. But you don't really need to do that on the moon. I mean, if you don't really want to, but we're going to do that because, well, just to kind of show you how it works, at least on the moon. Alright, so we are dealing with gas. We don't have any liquid coolant as of yet. But we do have plenty of oxygen, some carbon dioxide, and some nitrogen. Well, you know what? I just remembered. In order to get the radiators, we need steel. So we're going to need to do a furnace first, and we're going to need to expand the base. And general rule of thumb is that you want to get to the furnace as quick as possible, because it's more economically viable for you to do so. You don't want to be running back and forth, grabbing iron, and plus other advanced things that you do need to help you with temperature. And besides, we got a portable air conditioner in there. You start that out with your survival. This game requires both hands to build a base, and you can set other different options to different tools. So I'm going to set to flatten, so we're not digging. Well, I guess we're digging. I guess that didn't work. Alright. just gonna make a little bit more space with us over here because I don't want like the terrain clipping through our foundation.
Hydration critical.
All right.
Power low.
Okay, so I got a bunch of different warnings that I gotta take care of. So I gotta stop that. Let's go ahead into our airlock, first episode, which we covered. It's not that hard. It might take you a while in the beginning. Cancel pressurization. We don't need that as of yet. Base is gonna be a little bit messy. I'll take that because I do need that at some point. Okay, we'll do that. Put that in there. Put that in there. Nothing in the airlock? Nope. Okay. Alright. So I also like immersive games. This is one of the more immersive games. I have like a suit that I have to turn off the filter, off the air conditioning. I can also lock my helmet, but since I don't have my helmet locked, I can just open it and then drink. One thing to note, it's 87% O2 in here. I believe that might be dangerous if this were real life, but in Stationeers, 100 you can breathe 100% oxygen. It's fine. It's just more of a fire hazard. That's really the only downside because the tanks that you come with is just oxygen, pure oxygen. It's not a mixture of nitrogen or anything like that. I think our atmosphere is like 30% oxygen, and like most of it is like nitrogen. So keep that in mind. They might fix that in a later date. And Stationeers is a passion project of one New Zealand company who really likes aerospace. They're the same company that made Icarus, if you've ever played that. Alright. So I also gotta change my battery. Suit. Okay, so furnace. We need to get to a furnace. That is the first thing that we have to set up. Close that. We're gonna turn on our suit again. I'm gonna dump our waste tank into our habitat here. Give it some more carbon. Because the plants will need that later on because it might take a minute to have a constant supply of carbon dioxide for the greenhouse. And typically, in my experience, the best thing to do is just capture the gas from the furnace and then reroute it to anywhere you need. You gotta cool it down first. I mean, that stuff is like really hot. They did just do a new gas update where they, instead of volatiles, they split them into two things, hydrogen and methane. So I'm going to be dealing with that new stuff here. Alright, let's see. I don't have any contents in there. We're going to go ahead and inject all our contents. From then on. I think this is where we get the furnace. I'm almost certain it is. Okay, very, very good. We'll go ahead. Is that how much? I know, okay, only 10 copper. Now, on other planets or maps, you probably want to cinch all these crates down. You do get some crate holders because other planets have weather. The moon does have weather. It's solar flares, so I can't really be outside. It's gonna overheats my suit, wastes a bunch of oxygen, and the more windows you have exposed, to the vacuum, the more your base heats up. So that's why we... It's not going to heat up a whole lot with our build right now. Should be fine, and we're just going to stand by and wait for this. Now, I have done this before twice, where I've printed some very expensive objects, and I've walked away thinking that it would just shut off automatically, because usually it does. But I had too many resources in the hopper, and I just wasted a bunch of precious metals on redundant systems that I don't need. I mean, it's one of the things that you should do in this game is not only when you get established, you need to build like another like actual life raft, like way out in the distance, in case you have like a catastrophic canister explosion. And canisters, when they explode here, can take out a lot. Sometimes it's not recoverable, so you want to have your like an additional autolave, additional pipe bender ready to go. And just kind of have like an emergency habitat kind of off in the distance so it doesn't get destroyed. One of the more memorable moments playing this game is I was on Europa and I built an elevator, and I was trying to have a layered base within the terrain, and I don't know what it was, but I think the outgassing of my welder volatiles actually created a bomb. So like I went to go and press the elevator, and the elevator came up, it cycled, the airlock opened, and then I was thrown back across the room. It destroyed half of my power of the base. Like, it exposed it to the actual air in Europa, which is like negative 180 or whatever it is. That is a bit more of a memorable experience because it was such a jump scare for me. I was like, oh, because I wasn't actually paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to my atmospherics. All right, so this furnace is you can float it anywhere. So as hardcore as a game as this is, it's, I mean, some things are going to be gamified, and it's kind of understandable why. I think the advanced furnace has a better model. We have Chloe in the background, trying to fit herself somewhere. I'm just trying to figure out what is the best way of doing this. I mean, this could, yeah, I mean, that would be fine. That would be fine. I'd be happy with that. Let me try to get in the middle of the, there we go. And then we're gonna build out the base further out. And build another gas capturing room with atmospherics inside. Now you don't have to build, you can just survive just like this. I mean, you're already self-sustaining pretty much. The only thing you have to worry about is just temperature and then water collection. But you can do that with the furnace or an ice crusher. But I think the furnace might be the better option because I think you have to. I think the ice crusher now requires steel in order to make. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't need that just yet. I need the actual. Is it a crowbar? No, the crowbar's for deconstruction. Is it a wrench? It is a wrench. Okay, so I think the next step is the welder. Okay, very good. Okay. Furnace is easy to build. So this should be good enough for us right now. I'm gonna go and collect some volatiles. So I already got oxygen. And since it's nighttime, I don't have to worry about sublimation. So when you have ice in your hand and the sun touches it on the moon, it just evaporates. It goes. So you want to be, if you're going to be dealing with ice and you want like ice storage, you have to have it in a shaded environment or inside at very cool temperatures. And typically you want to have ice separation so in case something melts, you're not creating a bomb. That would be bad. Alright, we got our handy dandy ore detector. I don't need that. I need volatiles. Where are my volatiles here? There we go. I'm trying to go off the radio hits here, that little beeping. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and shut that off so it's not too annoying. We're gonna dig right down. Oh, I'm gonna change that to the default setting. Fairly deep underground. I'm honestly really glad that the developers gave us this ore detector at this early stage of the game, because it kind of does change how the game plays, because you had to like walk forever to figure out where your ore was, especially in the middle of the night, especially in case it was actual ice that you were collecting. How far is it? It's not giving me an indication. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Nope, that's silicon. I'll take silicon though. I mean, silicon is great. I have to use it for windows and other things, like insulation. Need coal. Now, coal is typically not found on the moon, and developers recognize that. But we can use it for a backup generator. And we'll need to make steel with it eventually. It's a bit tricky because I don't know where it's at. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Okay. Oh. And we'll gather as much as we can. I think what we can do is we can dig under the base and just create like an ice storage area in the vacuum. Okay, battery's dead on that. Perfectly fine. It did what it needed to do. and it did it well. So what I'm doing here is I'm just mining at an angle so I don't have to use my jump pack. Alright, there we go. There's our base. I can tell by the emergency lights on our airlock. Turn that off. We'll go ahead and store that. Now, in order to make fuel, let's take a look. We're going to put this out here. Is it 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio? We'll try 2. We'll try 2. And so since it's nighttime, now if you have it stored in your mining belt and you go inside to like a warmer room, this has like perfect insulation, so you're not going to have melting ice cubes or anything like that, or ice ore. Alright, so we're going to separate this because we don't want to put it all into the furnace. We'll go ahead and melt that. What we should have done, just for safety purposes, we should have made an emergency gas release, but I think we're gonna be okay. Put that oxygen in there. Ooh. So even the raw ice can actually still start the furnace, because I was a bit worried about that because now it's a mixture. Okay, and it's much more efficient to use the furnace than it is the arc furnace. Takes a lot shorter time. Go ahead and demonstrate that to you right now. There you go. Usually that would take a few minutes to get through all that gold. So we're just gonna smelt everything we have here. Hopefully we won't get a weather event, because I need to go back out there and grab some more ore. Go ahead and do that. There we go. And you don't want to mix your ore, otherwise you're going to get some type of mixture that you're going to have to separate with the centrifuge, and so be careful when you're using the furnace. That's my advice. Because if you get the mixture wrong for steel, it comes out as a reagent, I think, and it's not usable. All right. Okay. Well, we did that, so let's go ahead and get some. We need hydrocarbons or coal, and a bunch of iron. So this is a 3-to-1 ratio, I believe. So it might be 2-to-1 ratio. I think that's what it is. I mean, it still worked, so I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, we need some more iron. I should probably replace the battery on a few of these things here. Let's check the battery on here, 63%. We'll go ahead and put that away. It's not that big of a deal. That is at 0%. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. We need good old iron. This seems to be relatively close to the surface, so we'll go ahead and start mining. And I believe we'll have to move the furnace just a little bit out, or we're going to have to move the printers. Probably just leave the furnace as is and then make the gas capturing building and manufacturing area the same thing. It's somewhere here. I don't know where it's at. Somewhere here. Not exactly sure. Oh, maybe it's below us. It's not giving us an indication. So we were near. Probably not going to be able to make steel soon, but at least we smelted all that other ore, so we can make other things in the meantime. Get up the... Forget the...
Power low.
Oh, here it is. Okay. Get the greenhouse up. That's sorry, I just kind of spaced out there for a second. Use iron. Iron is great. Iron is good. So we're here. Why not? We did all this work anyways. We might as well. Might as well bring back as much as we can. Okay, good enough. How do I get out of here? Alright. We can turn you off. We're gonna go ahead. Use our jetpack here. Let's see. Oh, there's coal. Right over there. Alright, we're gonna gather 50 coal. So if you're interested in Stationeers, it is currently available on Steam. It's still in early access, but it has been for years. But it has received constant updates. It is a pet project. They are finally talking about the release date, or the release 1.0. And then they have plans for the future. Because this has been a pet project of this company, meaning they don't care if it's like financially successful. I mean, they want to build a game that they want to play, and that's always endearing to me. That's one of the reasons why I started streaming, because I wanted to show off Monsters and Memories about this group of people. They've been working on an MMO for 4 to 5 years now. Coming into office without pay, investing their own money. You know, it's inspiring. It is. And I hope the game succeeds. I hope people like it. It's definitely a niche game, and it's targeting old, I guess, old guys like me. We played EverQuest back in the day and kind of miss it. Because we have lost something in the current MMOs. They hold your hand too much. Will it Or is it to... Okay, well, no. Alright. That's okay. We got plenty of iron. We do need some pipes, though. We'll get some pipes. Now, eventually these pipes are going to burst. Because they're uninsulated and exposed to the vacuum of space, so they're going to vent off heat. Irradiate heat, excuse me. And that's going to cause the gas mixture in there to freeze, and that'll burst the pipes. It takes a while for that to happen. So one of the tricks, or one of the difficulties of the moon, is just, you know, it's gas capturing. You have nothing in the atmosphere to work with. Other planets, you have other gases in the atmosphere that are very useful, especially like on Vulcan, Mars. I think Europa is kind of like the least helpful, at least at first. I believe you have to trade. You have to get some mushrooms first to actually have like more of a constant supply of carbon dioxide. And then you just need a heat. We can probably do an Europa playthrough. I haven't done the new Europa map. When Europa first released, it would have these like giant spires of ice, and you had to like fly up to the top, and you had to build your platform. I mean, it was really cool concept. But they wanted to make it more realistic. And it used to be a randomly generated map type, and I mean I liked it. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the change, but I understand why they did it, and so I'm just like, whatever. I mean, the game is still there. Alrighty. You can always point your reticle on to the object and see if there's an input and output. So we want to take care of the output first. And we're going to construct it in such a way that it's going to be easy for us to access. In case something goes wrong, like if I overpressurize the furnace, I can just release the gas into the void. Go to pipe. Yes, the pipe bender is also useful for filters. So eventually, you see on the suit here, I've already gone through one filter. I'm at 80% with another filter. Eventually, I'm going to have to make some of those. Pipe valve kit. All right, what do we got here? We need copper. We can never have enough copper. Shut it off right there. Now, if I was smart, I would make all the pre-required things to complete this building project, but you do you. Again, this game is all about solving problems. Pipe cowl on top. There we go. We'll go ahead and vent, because we really don't need it right now. And it's better that we vent that because we don't want the pipe to burst. Looks like I got several things to solve here. Alright, we're going to cycle to the interior. If you see in the upper right-hand corner a shower icon, that means my guy needs to get out of his suit and take a shower, but we don't have a shower yet. You can just take off the suit and then your hygiene will come back up. The reason why that's important is because it affects your mood, and if your mood is kind of bad for your stationeer, he's going to run slower, he's going to do his tasks. Everything just kind of gets slower. From as far as what I understand with what the intention of the developers are saying, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's actually fairly well implemented yet. Through that, we'll turn off our AC, we'll unlock our helmet. Open our helmet, we'll go ahead and open our waste tank. And we'll fill our tank back up here.
Air tank critical.
There we go. Well, I'm going to show you how dark this game can get. So forgive me, but it gets really dark. So we kind of have to wait here until the hygiene icon goes away. What are we at food? Food, okay. I could put the locker down and put all the stuff in there. I just have better things to do, like getting the gas capturing up and running as soon as possible. Or at the very least getting to steel so I can make some temperature controls in this greenhouse here. Because we started off at 9 Celsius, and now we're at 21 Celsius without us doing anything. Let me go ahead and take a look here at the chat. Alright. And I'm going to take a look at the stream here. I just want to double check the stream. Because sometimes I thought it was okay, and that looks okay. That looks good. Look at that. Okay, that looks good. Alright. Everything seems to be nominal. And if you're wondering, this music is part of Monsters and Memories. It is the in music in Night Harbor. It's in a certain area, but we can change it. Oh. Alright, our guy is now happy and hygienic out of that sweaty suit.
Power low.
We just gotta change our battery. Yo, well, that is actually low. Alright, we're gonna turn on our air. We're gonna close our helmet. We're gonna lock it. And we're gonna step out into the void. Okie dokie, we'll go ahead and close that. I mean, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and throw all this in. guess we can't put it in just yet. Alright, that makes sense. We're gonna split this. Split one, split one. Put that back. Oops. Forgot to close it. I think it is a 2-to-1 ratio. Alright. I think we have enough temperature and pressure to make steel. And you typically want to get to this stage of the game as quick as possible because you have different advanced things that you actually need to survive. Plus, it's more economical. You don't want to start building your base out with iron. It's kind of a waste. Okay, we need to throw one more in there. We got 150. Now we're gonna throw the hydrocarbon in there. Okay, now we got steel. Whoop. Nice. Alright. Now the first thing I want to do... first thing I need to do with this... Well... Let's make some electronics here. Go ahead and throw this in. Yes. Well, that's a shame. And that's why we need a bigger battery. I mean, I could turn on the backup generator, I just don't feel like it. Alright, we're gonna need some logic. Logic processors, logic memory. Right, we're gonna need the iron. Put that guy in there. Put that guy in there. Ah, copper. We need copper. There we go. I am looking for logic chips, and I don't know why I can't find them. There we go. Just need one of these for right now. Now the default temperature that things read at is Kelvin, so when we adjust the memory value, it goes from 100, 200, 300. You can put increments like 301. That's all going to be in Kelvin, so we got to do a conversion from Kelvin to Celsius and then to Fahrenheit to figure out what our actual temperature is in freedom units. Let's see. Logic memory. I do need a logic processor at some point. So we're going to need to compare it with the gas sensor that we're going to need. And then logic kit, input, output. I think that's it. I'm just going to leave all the ingots in the printer here. Let's see, because I think I need a sensor. Pretty sure I need a sensor, yep. There we go. Okie dokie. Well, my inventory is actually full. Oh, we print it off too. Okay, that's alright. Probably gonna need that anyways. Oh, this is the solar event. Looks like a nuclear explosion that's happening here in the moon. I got into the base right on time. Okay, let's go ahead and unlock. Open the helmet, turn everything off, because we don't need it. We'll go ahead and... Oh, you don't need to actually do that right now. Now by midday, this usually cuts out. I know on Vulcan they also have this, so it gets ridiculously hot. On Vulcan. I'm not sure they have it on Venus. I'm gonna check the quality of the stream again. Bear with me. Well, everything looks good. As far as I can tell, I won't really know until it actually processes it. In my other streams, when I started broadcasting Monsters and Memories, I would always say like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about philosophy today because that's what I'm changing my profession into." I was an IT manager before the pandemic. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, but I want to get out of that vocation because I already know the lay of the land with it. If you want to move up in IT nowadays, you just need a bunch of certifications, and that's really it. You don't even need a degree. The problem is, I don't really want to pay $300 for a test from CompTIA. So I decided to go back to college and just wrapped up an associate's degree. I'm gonna be going into my bachelor's degree course. Well, the point of that story is to tell you, like, I was like, I'm gonna, you know, we're gonna go over some philosophy in Monsters and Memories, and I would just like forget about to talk about philosophy, and I was just talking about the game. I mean, it's a good thing for that, at least that game. And then when I finally did it, the stream ended up being like a slideshow, and I didn't even know it because I wasn't checking on it. It just seemed good. I was just like, okay, let's just keep going. Last day of the open playtest, and I just like, I felt so bad. Luckily, nobody viewed it, so bless again to Chris, because there was nobody there to tell me whether or not it was working. But because of that, I found out that I went over this in other streams, and I apologize if you hear this again. But to the new people on Kick, like my upstream was very, very low, like around 8 megabits per second when I had like a gigabyte internet. Like I had the fastest internet package from the ISP, and I also have a really beefy computer that I built myself. And I don't think I'll ever stop doing that, because it's way cheaper. So I have a pretty beefy computer, and I was like, I should be streaming in high definition. I don't understand why I can't do this. So I looked at the bitrate, and I was like, oh, okay. So then I changed a few things around on my network. I got it up to 11, and I was like, okay, well, that's still kind of low. I mean, I should have a bit more. So I contacted my ISP. Turns out they had the wrong MAC address on the modem, which for like years they did this for years. I only just noticed it like 7-8 months ago. And so right now we're just kind of waiting out the storm here, solar storm, because it's just going to overheat my suit, and it's just going to waste oxygen, and I don't want to have to be pressured into building a atmospherics kit to where I have to compress oxygen in this room into a tank. I don't want to do that. There's two options, at least on this map. You can go out and get oxide, throw it in here, put it in one of the window areas where the sun's gonna hit it, and then it'll sublimate, and then it'll start melting inside the room if you're at a vacuum. Now that there's like temperature in here, like it will actually melt anyways. So you can go out, you can mine oxide, and you can get more oxygen at any point. Or you can start your greenhouse and then have your plants manufacture oxygen that way, so you don't have to go out and mine it. On other maps, other planets, you have to make a beeline for that, especially on Vulcan. You have to get into oxygen production immediately. I don't know why they give you switchgrass to make on. They should really give you ferns, in my opinion. Okay, storm is done. And if the devs ever see this, I would hope that they have some type of transition, because it just shuts off with the solar flare. It needs a bit more flashier, but that's okay. Perfectly fine. Just a little tidbit there. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on our suit, and we're gonna go out into the void. Having allergies today. My work area is a mess. the time to actually put down. Well, I'm gonna do that anyways. Go back inside. Sorry, guys. See, when I get to talking, I forget what I'm doing. And so when I'm playing like an MMO, like Monsters of Memories, I'll just get to talking. I'll start like walking around in circles. I think that comes from other MMOs, failed MMOs, where me and a group of friends, longtime friends, would kind of just get together, and we would call it jumping on tents because we played Warhammer Online at a certain point in time. And we would start talking. We're not actually playing the game, but we're just kind of hanging out in the game, and we're jumping on tents because we're just like kind of like that's all we can really do, right? We're so involved in the conversation than we are the game. So that is an old habit of mine, and I do apologize if I'm a bit spastic. You have to forgive me. Been through a few explosions in my life, serving this country. There's a few screws a bit loose up there, but mostly sane, I would say. Mostly. Alright, what we need to do is we need to get power. Where's the power? Power's coming in from here. Okay, we can. Yeah, I think that might be this might be a good area to put a. Yeah, why not? Why not? Oh, where's my... Oh, I gotta get more. I gotta get more cables. I know I have 50 more cables somewhere. As in the first episode, I made a bunch of cables, not realizing that I had a bunch more cables in my storage. And I was kind of sad. That's okay. If you're wanting to play this game, learn from my mistakes. You can probably do better than me. Right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up some simple logic here so that the gas sensor reads the temperature in the room. It's going to be in Kelvin, and then we're just going to be doing some conversion. And so once that turns on, turn on. So there's going to be a couple things we need to do because we need to, since we don't have access to like a liquid coolant right now, which we're just going to use the gas in here to cool it down, because you can really just make a simple air conditioning by simply putting a vent here, passive vent, and then putting the pipes out into the vacuum and putting a radius, opening the valve, and the air will go in there and get cooled down by the radiation, or the vacuum, and then it cools the surrounding room down. And so every so often you can turn that on and then turn it off. Very low power option, simple. But the point is that we really don't want to be messing with that a whole lot. We don't really want to be coming back in here and dealing with the air conditioning, because we can use it. Let's see, we still have 12, yeah. Okay, yeah, so we just want to, it's like one less thing to worry about. So like power generation, if you set up enough solar panels, at least stationary solar panels, it should be fine. I know that I set up at least 6 one time, and I didn't have to go into the dual tracking solar panels for a while. But we want to get into dual tracking. We only really need 3 of them. And should be around like 90% efficiency when we do that. Okay, well, it looks like we really aren't. Okay, what do I need? I need a drop. Yeah, we definitely need a logic and pair. And we need logic memory. Somewhere. I mean, put it right there. That's perfectly fine. And then a logic reader for sure. Okay, yeah, I probably need one more. I need logic writers because I want to write out the input into the wall cooler. Pipe bender. I need a wall cooler. I need gold. Easy. So I already have pipes kind of laying around here. I do need my cable coil though, and I don't really remember where I put it. They are somewhere. Here we go. Sometimes I feel the music is a little bit too loud, but I mean, it's already pretty low. And this is a shopkeep thing when you talk to an NPC to do buy and trade stuff. Ah, radiator. Here we go. We'll probably need more than just one. I know we will need liquid radiators, but pipe radiators, I think we're fine with two. I think we're gonna be fine with two. Because what we don't really want to have happen is the pipe freezing the carbon dioxide in there and it bursts. Like we don't want it. That would be a very bad thing. Alright, so let's see, I need a vent, passive vent. Just a passive vent, that's all I need. And I'm gonna need a pipe valve. Wall cleaner, got the vent. Alright, and then I'm gonna need logic input, output. Now, if you go back and like watch the first episode, you pretty much can do anything you want. The moon is a fairly easy. I mean, it's a hostile environment, obviously, but it's compared to everything else. It's fairly easy to deal with. I think Mars is a little bit more difficult because the solar angle is a bit off. It's at like 90 degrees, so you really only need to do one plane. And that's a horizontal plane of the dual tracking, the dual tracking solar panels. You don't need to worry about the horizontal. You can set that up if you would like, and I might just do that. But I'm gonna work on the vertical. That's what I usually do, and it usually works out pretty well. I do this as a hobby. Not only to like share my stories, but in the games that I like that are like really niche. But I also need to get into the habit of marking my VODs timestamping them. I gotta figure out how to do that. But because this is like free-form, not really scripted, I mean, it's kind of hard to do, so I haven't been really fussing with it. That has a power on there, so we can't put it right above it. I guess that should be fine. Now, one of the things I do like when you get this all set up, it makes like a clicking sound, like it's like an old time computer. So you do get kind of like a satisfaction on the moon of like when you everything on the moon. I try to get in the habit of building inside with an atmosphere, even the furnace. But I box the furnace off because I like to hear things. And when you're outside, you can't hear the beeps and the boops, and it gets rather boring. And you move on to other things. So we're gonna wire this up. And we're going to be using a lot of wire. I've tried to do it like really efficient on certain playthroughs where, you know, they would make sense as far as your cable management goes. Like this is the power. This power is separate from the data ports. But sometimes it's just easier and more efficient to use more copper wire. Because the data ports and the power wire share the same throughput. Is there a bottom thing on there? There is. Okay, so I gotta wire that up. Because sometimes, now if you were to try to be efficient with this, as far as your cable management goes, you would kind of have to spread this out, but we don't have a whole lot of room in here. And so I could spread this out, or if I can keep it just compact onto one tile here, and worry about it later. For right now, it's just to get one headache solved. That way we can just go on and do other things with our Stationeers career here. Alright, usually, let's go ahead, we got the wall cooler right now. Oh. We can place the wall cooler really anywhere we really want to. That's fine. Yeah, so you can either be compact with your logic, or you can be... You can't be both. So maybe the devs will change how the logic works here, these input-output things. Oh, here, I gotta get my wrench. Because what we need to do is we need to have a way for gas to get in there so it can cool it down. Do I have, where's my pipe valve? Did I bring it? I did bring it, okay. That's better. Alright, that should have like gas into the pipe network. It very much did. Okay. And then we could shut it. We always want to make sure that we have that valve shut, because if we don't and it bursts outside, we're basically venting our atmosphere into the vacuum. So be careful. Alright, so I've done this a lot of times. Let's see if I can go off memory and I don't have to look up a guide. Oh, you know what would be a really good idea? Is having the labeler, and that's actually going to come in. Gas sensor temp. Air temp. Electric reader. We're just gonna put it all in. Temp. And the reason why we're labeling this is because I don't want the data to go to the different or to the wrong compare unit. Writer. Okay. Actually don't need this anymore. I'm just wasting oxygen. Not having my helmet open and just like kind of chilling. Don't know why I did that.
Waste tank.
We'll go ahead and just top off.
Air tank critical.
Alright. Logic reader. I think we're going to start with the logic reader in. Where is my screwdriver? I had one. What to